If you're trying to value a stock, or you're working on a merger deal, or you're trying to evaluate a project, the skills that you need is financial modeling. So in this video, I would be talking about what is financial modeling. I will talk about why do you need to learn it, and then we will discuss about FinTree's financial modeling program. So financial modeling is basically a skill that allows you to put your opinion about a business into a financial model and then come to some sort of a conclusion. So the most popular uses are, of course, equity research. When you're trying to, let's say, buy a stock, what is the appropriate price point at which you should enter? So answer to questions like these would be given by financial modeling. Or if you want to know something like, what if the revenue growth is not 10% what market believes, but what if it's 25%? Then how much impact will that have on the valuation of the stock? So again, the answer to this question could be given to you by financial modeling. So it's kind of a useful skill, and the reason why you should learn it is A, if you want to be better at decision making, especially financial decisions. B, if you're a fresher or if you're someone who's trying to break into the equity research world or investment banking world. It's the number one skill that employers look for when they're trying to hire for these type of positions. In fact, a lot of research houses, one of the part of the interview process is a financial modeling test. And therefore, every candidate that comes at FinTree who's trying to break into the equity research world or the IB world, we recommend them to learn financial modeling because it really gives you that practical edge, during your interview process. So now with this in the background, I'm going to talk about a little bit about FinTree's financial modeling course. Both the online course and the classroom program, we've broken them down into four distinct parts. The first part of our program focuses on learning Microsoft Excel. Now, Excel is a tool, it is not financial modeling, right? It's a tool that helps you, enables you to perform your modeling. But since it's the most popular use, popular product, popular program, therefore we spend some time on it. So we have built excellent video tutorials on both basic and advanced Excel. So they kind of cover more or less everything that you need to equip you to start with financial modeling program. I also want you to appreciate that the Excel that we've covered here is that part of the Excel which is required from a finance perspective, right? So we know that Excel is kind of huge, and we kind of focused only on those sections of Excel which are going to be useful when you start building your financial models. Then in the second part, we spend a lot of time on understanding the business and the financial statements. So a lot of people feel that financial modeling is all about, being good at Excel, but that's not true. Excel is just a tool. Financial modeling is all about being able to appreciate the business model and being able to make solid assumptions and justify your assumptions to whomever you're presenting your valuations. So we'll spend a lot of time understanding businesses. Some of the documents we'll be reading in the course would be annual reports. We'll spend some time on quarterly reports. We'll get those con call scripts. We'll try to understand what kind of questions the company management is being asked. And then after this, we'll build our basic infrastructure, which is nothing but populating the numbers from the annual report or quarterly report into an Excel file. Then we'll do a little bit of cleansing, right? So maybe we would want to make the numbers from the annual report into Excel more modeling friendly. So we'll do all that process. And by the end of step 2, what we will have is we will have a solid infrastructure into our Excel file, where we'll have income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, just the historical data. Then in step 3 is where we start the core modeling work. Typically it starts with revenue modeling. So we kind of build a dedicated revenue model. We break down, revenue of the company into smaller components. We figure out what are the appropriate revenue drivers. We start modeling, we start making assumptions, start modeling revenue. Same is the case with cost, capex model, working capital, all other necessary schedules that you need. By the end of step 3, what we will have an income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, and all the other supporting templates or models we've built integrated with each other. So you change one number in your assumption sheet, it should flow through the entire model in such a way that your balance sheet still remains valid. So this is your step number 3, and maybe the most critical step, because this is where we learn to make assumptions, right? And this is where the quality component comes in handy, because the assumption doesn't have to be just historical CAGR. I've seen a lot of people do that, and it could be an assumption, but you should always be able to justify why. That's the real game with the modeling part of it. And then finally we do the valuation. So we decide, of course, in the course we'll be learning all of them. We'll learn DCFs and comparables, but we decide which metric is appropriate for the company we are modeling, and then we choose one of the metrics and perform the valuation part of it. So this is where the financial modeling program gets over. Just to give you an overview of how the end result of your model is going to be. So I've put a couple of models on my screen. One of them is, I think this is a Starbucks model. This is what we prepared, I think, a few years ago. So we have assumptions, we have IS, BS, we have CFS. These are our revenue models, cost model, so on and so forth. How the course is organized on the website. So this is how you would see the financial modeling program. It is broken down into days. So we have day 1 up to day 12. So these are roughly about 12 videos, total duration 12 hours for Starbucks itself. And then for every day, you would see a pre-file and a post-file. So what you're expected to do is click on the pre-file. It opens up your partial financial model where we've reached up to that point. Then you click on the video, and that video will have discussion on what to do next. So you do that, you watch the video, and then you do the process, and then you download the post file. Okay, so let me just go on to the post file part. You download the post file, and then you compare your file versus our file, and then you fine tune your mistakes and move on to the next day. Right, so in this fashion, right now we have Starbucks on the website, then we have VMart, then we have a lot of equity valuation theory videos, analysis of annual reports. This is roughly how the entire course is structured. So this is more or less what I had to say. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.